Hi, everybody. Excited to tell you a little bit about General Assembly. I'm going to guess I push this button. Oh, there we go. So, at a very, very high level, General Assembly transforms thinkers into creators through education as well as providing access to opportunities in technology, business, and design. What does that mean in specific? In specific, it means we offer skills-based education in a number of highly relevant, highly current subject matter. Things like front-end web development, back-end web development, user experience design, data science, user acquisition marketing and digital marketing, product management, and so on. And a little bit about, okay. And before we really get into it, I'll give you a little update on where we are today. So General Assembly has had over 51,000 students come through our doors in the last 2 years since we launched. We have 8 active campus locations all over the world. We have over 45,000 square feet of dedicated campus real estate and much more to come. We have over 150 hiring partners that have engaged with us to evaluate our curriculum and our graduates. We have 22 Fortune 500 clients who also come through our doors to learn from our practitioners and through our curriculum. We've invested over 8,500 hours in curriculum development for these very specialized fields. And as of now, we have over 1,000 graduates of our intensive programs. That number should quadruple by the end of 2013. So today, what I'm going to talk about is 2 areas that we believe very strongly in as we service our students and give our students what they need, which is really skills-based education that leads to very concrete outcomes. And that's 2 areas that we've invested in that aren't directly related to getting students in the door, which is really curriculum development and outcomes. These are 2 areas that we sort of think that we've invented some, maybe not completely new, but interesting ways of developing curriculum for the education space. And we feel very strongly that it makes us what we are, and it makes us very agile and be able to serve the needs of our students. So GA's curriculum philosophy is very simple. We focus and start with the workplace. We ask, what are the jobs that our students need or want, and what are the jobs that employers are looking to fill and struggling to fill with the current talent base? From that point on, we then try to define who our target audience is, what are their goals, what would their goals be, what would the goals be for this course. And then we partner with practitioners who are practicing in the field in very specific, sometimes very specific subfields of expertise, and we get them to partner with us in building the curriculum and teaching the first generation of the course. And then after we've done a first, a second, or third generation of the course, we then iterate as many times as it takes in order to make sure that we are really serving both the needs of the students and the employers. Okay. So in a lot of ways, this is sort of the process. And I think what we like to think of it as an agile curriculum process, where we discover what's needed in the marketplace. We define who our audience is and what the goals are going to be. We design with a practitioner what the curriculum is and what will be taught, and then we deliver that in a way that gets us enough feedback that we can do better the next time. The next item I wanted to sort of cover at a very high level is outcomes. Outcomes is one of those things people talk a lot about. We have a very specific definition of outcomes, which is actually students achieving the goals that they came into the course with. Some people call outcomes, how they did on a test or whether or not they're placed in a specific type of job. We use those things as well, but at the end of the day, our criteria is that we have a student who leaves happier than when they came in and feeling like it was a worthwhile investment of their time and of their money. So how do we do that? Well, it's a bunch of different elements that come together to sort of create a successful outcomes program. We have a relevant curriculum, right? That's probably number 1 and most important. We have, this thing is so weird. We have access to a network of similarly minded professionals at all levels, and that's really important. It's not just experts, it's not just a bunch of beginners. It's at all levels along the way, and they have access to them through a number of different channels. We give them a lot of opportunities to practice and hone skills, both in the course and afterwards. We have a very robust experiential education program that happens sort of outside of the classroom and can happen, can be participated in by not just students, but also alumni, and alumni come back all the time from people who've graduated 2 years ago to participate in these experiential education programs. We spend time actually preparing them for job readiness. And this sometimes has nothing to do with the actual job that they're looking for. It has a lot to do with knowing how to present yourself, knowing how to talk about your skills, knowing how to think about what you want to do and articulate your story to a potential employer. And we found huge benefits by just investing a little bit of time in that. And then, of course, we've been looking a lot at blended education and employment, meaning people who work while they go to school, and after they graduate, sometimes we have specific programs where they are working for an employer but also still checking in with us. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And we have direct connections with employers. That's the hiring partners I talked about. That list is constantly growing, and we are looking for ways to deepen those relationships all the time. Okay, now we're going. Okay. So one great case study I wanted to give is our apprenticeship program. This just launched a couple months ago. The core challenge was, oh man, I'm going really slow. The core challenge was that employers were very hesitant to hire very new junior engineers. It's too much risk and too much time, especially if you're a startup. But we found that they really were passionate about building a pipeline and helping the next generation of engineers, and there was a sort of internal conflict that they had. We tried to create a program to mitigate that risk by having a supervised internship program right after a student graduates, where they get paid by the employer, they get mentored by the employer, but we supervise the whole process, and one day a week they actually come back to the GA campus for self-reflection, feedback, and then skills enhancement. And we found that once we sort of created that program as a whole, the employers just lined up. They were so excited to be part of this program and to get to both build their own pipeline of talent and just help the pipeline of talent for New York City and San Francisco and London and LA, all at the same time. All right, so another great case study point, web development immersive. We really waited until we knew what we were doing before we launched this program. It was part of, it's a full-time, daytime immersive program. It takes 12 weeks. It can take somebody from 0 to being a pretty decent junior level engineer. It's amazing to see the students work. They work night and day, 24/7. They bond as a unit. And in the last course, which is really our first full course that we launched, it graduated at the end of December. A month and a half afterwards, 16 out of the 17 graduates had jobs that they were incredibly happy with. The last one is a guy who just went on vacation for 2 months, so he's looking for a job now, and he'll get a job very, very shortly, at which case we'll have a 100% placement rate. We're very excited about that. We have another class graduating in about a week that's 25 people, and we'll have classes of about 75 graduating very soon after that. These are some other more anecdotal case study, testimonials of students. We get people who want to be entrepreneurs. We get people who are entrepreneurs but want to be employees. It's a fantastic program. The last case study I want to leave you with is Business Fundamentals and Tactics. We just recently launched this in partnership with McKinsey. This is my dream to sort of slowly kill the MBA. Because I was a Wharton grad, and I felt, why does it take so long and cost so much money to learn some pretty basic frameworks around how to think about business? We partnered with McKinsey for the curriculum. They are actually interviewing 75% of the graduates. To get a first-round interview at McKinsey and have a 75% rate, not even Harvard Business School or Wharton or Stanford has that kind of rate. We've hired McKinsey alums as teachers, and we've found just incredible demand, but more importantly, the experience has been fabulous. So we used all that same curriculum and outcomes process for this course. We launched the pilot about I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's going incredibly well. You'll see more from that very, very soon. And reminder, these are the locations we're in right now, many, many more to come, and as well as online and all that kind of stuff as well. Thank you so much.